What?
Chancery Park Plaza Hotel. I saw you there last night with Bill.
You have a wife and a child.
I'm gonna take care of you. You just have to trust me right now. I am a married man. You do understand what it would mean if this were to get out. Mrs. Johnson is indispensable to this study.
She's an overpriced secretary. There's not going to be a single hospital in the Midwest that's going to let you step through their doors. Whatever this is you have with the Virginia, is it worth it?
Masters of Sex, Episode 4, Season 2, Dirty Jobs, Alonso Duralde, William Bibbiani. Any episode where Danny Houston gets punched in the face is automatically a good episode.
This is a great episode of Masters of Sex. I loved this episode of Masters of Sex, although I do have to cry foul on that teaser for next week on Masters of Sex because they used a dream sequence in what happens next on Masters of Sex.
Well,
that's crap. I hate it when they do that. But this was a fantastic episode, I think, all around. A lot of the characters evolved. A lot of moments that we've been waiting for came to fruition in a really unexpected way. That really, the whole bit with Greg Grunberg and Betty.
The Pretzel King.
Yeah, the Pretzel King of Chicago. He so amazing and did not go where I expected to. And it was so satisfying and it really played into the theme of the show, which I thought was fantastic.
Yeah, no, that was really lovely to kind of find out where she had considered herself the one carrying a secret around, and it turns out that he was too.
Well, and but it's also a lot of the show is about what we expect people to think about sex or our sexual proclivities.
Sure.
She was hiding the fact that she was a prostitute from this man who, turns out, knew she was a prostitute the entire time and didn't give a crap.
No, and that was the draw.
That was
anything.
great.
Yeah.
That was really, really interesting. And then it turns out the only thing that really was standing in the way was the lying, was like the keeping someone ignorant. And that's the
sort of
show.
the societal expectation, you know, like that. Yeah, definitely. You're right. It was like a nice little metaphorical nugget.
Grunberg sold it so well. They didn't need like a huge bit. It was just them eating dinner, not even good dinner, just having a conversation, letting the scene play out. That's maybe my favorite moment of the show in some respects. I think it's really
a good
amazing.
one. I do want to look up the heavenly ham loaf recipe. See what the hell that's about.
Link it at the bottom of the page.
There's a lot of, this is definitely a let's move things forward episode. Like there's a lot of plot happening. So basically I think as we kind of knew was going to happen, that horny Danny Houston and his like desire to watch the experimentation was going to fuck everything up. And
I like that he showed up even when he thought it was just going to be old guys masturbating.
Yeah, like he'll take it, whatever.
Yeah, whatever, I'm really bored, like that kind of thing. That was all great. Seeing once again Bill just shoved out of a new job or letting himself self-destruct because he's not, it's the work, someone's getting in the way of the work every single time. That was all great.
I loved Dr. DePaul realizing that that Virginia is keeping secrets from her, and because of that, sort of basically giving away the whole research program
Which I get, but Dr. DePaul wants Virginia to keep her secrets, right? She doesn't want to tell them to anyone else. So why should she be so offended? I know it's, I get it, but it's annoying.
No, I know what you mean, but I bought it dramatically.
Sure.
I bought the idea that like, all right, if you can't, you know so much about me. If you can't open yourself to me in the same way that I have to you, then I can't entrust this thing to you, this thing that has been my life's work, my life which could be ending at any moment because this cancer is fucking with me, then I'm going to give it to, Dr. Pap.
Renee Auberjonois.
Exactly. Yeah. Renee Auberjonois. I know that this has been a great weekend for character actors on TV. We got Tom Noonan on The Leftovers, and we got Renee Auberjonois on Masters of Sex. It was very exciting.
Very, very excellent. And we need to talk about Libby's subplot.
Oh man.
Because Libby Von Trier is freaking me the hell out. This whole relationship between her, is it Crystal is the servant? The maid? Yeah.
It's Kiki Palmer. I forget the
Okay, well anyway, but the relationship they have, this sort of subtle increase of abuse and humiliation is, she went from being the character in the first season that we all sympathized with, I think. Even if you didn't think that she belonged with Belle, she was obviously the aggrieved party in a lot of this. And now I'm just like,
now she's Sissy Spacek in The Help.
Yeah, seriously, get the hell rid of her at this point. Like, it's like, come on, Ginny, get him away from this monster, but he's kind of an asshole too, and so are you. And
again, it's like, but here's a character where you have just sort of like the worst moment of history in terms of trying to be a woman dealing with sort of women's roles in the 50s, trying to figure out like race politics when you haven't really been exposed to them or enlightened about them. I mean, I'm not. I mean, no way condoning any of her behavior, but I see how much that she's
see
a
how it
product.
happened.
She's a product of her time,
Right.
You know. And as soon as like the lice thing came up, I was like, oh no, no, this is going to end so badly.
I do feel like that's a mystery. I kind of want to like, how did the baby get lice? Who is it interacting
There could
with?
be any number of places. I mean, it happens. Like,
I expect there's going to be like a big reveal at the end of the season where it turns out she got lice from Bill because Bill got it from Ginny, and now that's the proof that they've been together this whole time.
Yeah, maybe
You know?
Jenny's kids got
Yeah.
into public school. Yeah, no, I mean it's any possibility. But I thought, well, at least you gave her money to get another hairdo, like because that's
small
no,
consolation.
it's very small consolation. But I was thinking about it.
I
was
thought-
the whole time I was thinking, the least you could do,
But at the
do.
same time, the way she did it was just like leaving money on the nightstand.
Yeah, no, I know it was all
You know,
gross.
it
But
was
again,
really-
I'm not defending Libby at all. There's
Yeah.
some shit going down here.
Libby.
But again, she's a woman in the 1950s.
No, the thing about the show that makes it sometimes really hard to watch is it takes place at a time when a lot of the things we take for granted about society or the way we interact with one another sexually or look upon different sexual lifestyles and science in general, none of it is in place yet. It's in this weird nebulous area between sort of understanding and accepting and being really judgmental and gross.
Right, yeah.
So there's always an aspect of the show in almost every episode that makes you wince, and it's just hard to watch.
Yeah, like Mad Men will have a couple of those per episode, and this show sort of lives in the wincy space.
Yeah.
Especially when you look at Virginia, this episode, the whole business with the diet pills.
Those diet pills.
And having to do the script and that whole script that's so undermining to like women's.
She's negging them. She's negging
She's
them.
super negging them. You're right.
She's negging them to get them to take diet pills. It's grotesque, and you can tell she hates doing it. But at some point, it's just like I gotta put food on my family, man.
There you go. And so all the female characters, I think, to one extent or another, are suffering under that yoke.
I'm kind of fascinated by the amount of screen time Austin is getting on this show and this season. I thought I thought we basically wrapped that up, but now they're using him as sort of a counterpoint to what Bill is doing.
Sure.
And that's interesting. I like their scene together when they're smoking on the patio.
Yeah, and I mean, I called the Alton, Illinois connection. Like
Yeah.
that was just sitting there waiting to happen. But yeah, I do like the notion of what does philandering / divorce look like.
Yeah.
In that era, two people of that class, the two doctors, that sort of thing. And obviously, again, we know where things are headed for Dr. Masters, so
Yeah.
it's sort of important, I guess, maybe to kind of have some signposts to let us know what's happening.
I guess my question is, what the heck are they going to do with Austin now? Like, I'm worried they're going to find some really awkward way to shove him into the show. Like, he actually is going to start dating Ginny. And if that happens, I'm going to walk over to the Showtime building and punch the building. Everyone in it will be safe. I just no.
Ginny is if Ginny didn't marry what's his face, she's definitely not going to get involved with Austin.
Yeah.
But I would not be surprised if Austin got back into the study.
Sure.
Why not?
Sure. We need to talk about what's happening in the study because I love the ending of this episode. I don't know if actually accurate it is, but I love that they're taking the study and Bill's career to a hospital that was exclusively for black people.
Right.
That's really great. I think that opens up a lot of potential for the show to
totally.
explore all kinds of issues.
Sure.
And yeah, I'm really excited about where that's going to go. I think that's the best possible. Because I feel like even though it's been sort of interesting the last few episodes, I feel like the whole thing with Danny Houston has been kind of spinning its wheels. It never felt like really a direction for the show. It just sort of showed like why the show can't go in this direction. Now we actually have to go in a direction.
Right.
And now we have one, and I'm fascinated by it, and I'm really looking forward to the next couple.
I'm wondering if this is the same hospital that Libby went to.
I think so.
I guess. I mean, how many black hospitals did St. Louis have?
Within driving distance of his house? Not many, I can imagine.
True.
There's been at least like 2 maximum. So we got a 50-50 shot, right? Yeah. So no, I think it's cool.
And definitely, I mean, I think we've already been touching on the racial politics of this show a little bit along the way, more now with the nanny character. And so, yeah, this would definitely, we're going to full on plunge. And to boot, we get, damn Angela Bassett's husband,
Courtney B. Vance?
Courtney B. Vance.
Yes.
So that's going to be exciting.
Yes. Love Courtney B. Vance. He's not in stuff enough.
Totally, yes. So yeah. So I think we're on an interesting path here, and I know you were not a big fan of The Fight, so this is a more sort of
This was a great
This is a show
episode.
doing what the show does well on a week-to-week basis.
This is my
so-
favorite episode in a really long time, maybe my favorite overall.
Really?
I love everything this episode was doing. Can't wait for more.
All right, excellent. Well, so we'll be back next week. Check out.